What is going on, Roland Empire here, guys, to just give you a little talk today, a review, a video, so to speak, today about Batman Begins. I'm just like, why not? You guys know what Batman Begins is. This was the reboot that did, the whole Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher brought in the amazing Christopher Nolan, brought in an incredible actor, Christian Bale, and then led us on to the Dark Knight trilogy as it is, to eventually we got, Batman v Superman, where we got all these the Batman and stuff, and now with just so many worlds. It's just this was the domino effect of many domino effects, that kind of way. If you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, guys. I just wanted to give a little bit of talk. So it's this trilogy really is a fascinating one. Obviously, it grounded the work of so many stuff of not just superhero movies, just films, how they want to be style wise and whatnot, and just it's fascinating to see how impactful it's become, just visualizing it, but yeah, The Dark Knight became the incredible movie that it is. The Dark Knight Rises, another incredible hit movie. I gotta admit, by the third movie you started seeing a bit of the weaknesses here, there, a bit of the flaws of the films, and it's probably not my favorite of the bunch, kind of thing, even Nolan, his filmography. But it's still a satisfying wrap up at the very least, to just get everything, some loose ends that are tied, kind of stuff. And but particularly I want to talk about Batman Begins. It's hard because sometimes I might root for the second being the best, but honestly the first one really is just so good. It's I there's if I can see an argument going on with the first two films of the trilogy, going on, this one's better, this one's better, your arguments are really valid. Besides the point that everybody should be given a chance, they are fair for this movie. There really are two good ones, seriously. And I want to be yeah, the second one, but maybe because of certain acting kind of thing. The first one just really laid down everything. It really understood. That was the one that put the spotlight mostly on Batman, knowing what kind of character he was going to be, and just seeing him kind of how he grew up, and how the character itself went through with his family, and then putting himself isolation and coming back to the world, studying kind of opponents' weaknesses, trying to realize what his strengths are, how he could use benefits of all that kind of stuff. And it was that kind of nice mythos, that kind of nice psychological kind of thing of how he did and faced everything. And yeah, there's really good villains here throughout this whole movie. Ra's al Ghul. It's a nice way to kind of be he was his mentor, but then he ended up being more, and the Scarecrow kind of thing. It's more center still on Batman, but everybody still is a compliment. But he is the one, especially Bell. Like I said, he's an incredible actor. He does good on this role. I like that he is a fine balance of both characters. This is the best one of Batman where his voice sounded the way it was. I like that interpretation of how it was. But yes, it's just center a lot of realizing who is the character you're playing, who is the real person. It sets you those themes, those kind of philosophical kind of thinking kind of thing, thematic elements that it's interesting. It's not wow, this is the first time a movie's done that. But for Batman, especially the whole franchise that it is now, this one really had that, and I really like that. I grasp on many things, whether it's the life learning lessons of mentors and all that, and then just your own characteristics, that kind of thing. And Nolan just found the nice balance on that. I'm glad that now, looking how he set it up as him, and then what we got after is the payoff. But here you're you want to understand the main character, our supposed protagonist. Here you go. I gravitated on so many things, just realizing there's more to this. It was nice. It felt Nolan took his own versions of Batman, but still realized sort of what he really is. So this is a nice example of saying you can take a certain style, you can make it yourself, but you got to still keep it into the lore of what this character is. Okay, I don't even have to say what I'm taking shots at, stuff like that. But this one is a fine example. Okay, everybody has their subjective opinion. Subjective is wonderful for the film industry. You're maybe these movies aren't for you. This movie is for me, okay? This movie is a fine balance. It was definitely a fine balance of what we got before, what is after. It's that nice. It was grounded. It was grounded and realistic, but, it was fair enough. It gave a lot of, lot of opportunity for any kind of thing. This is really like, you like film, you like comic books. It's a fine balance, okay? Whether it's just film, you're a film purist, you're a comic book fan. A lot of this is sprinkled into this, and I really just appreciate this, guys. These are just some of my thoughts, guys, of what I think of like Batman Begins in particular. Let me know, guys, what you think. Like, how do you rank your trilogy? How do you rank this movie? All this in the comments below, guys. And as always, Roland Empire. Laugh, smile, repeat.